Main thing you're looking for is gonna be your entrance and your exit, the radius of the berm, and then your G out. You wanna make it smooth. Excavators clocked in, ready to shred. We're building a 180 berm for the Pumptrack, and I'll show you the process from start to finish. I already piled some dirt up, but that doesn't matter because what we're gonna get into is the shaping, how to get a good entrance and how to get a good exit and don't have a G out, and make sure we keep speed and be able to hold speed and be able to go as fast as we can and slow as possible too, for beginners and for pro riders. So we focused on our entrance with a roller. This is for a Pumptrack. If you're building a berm that is not for a Pumptrack, it'll be a little different, but it's nice and short and steep in the edge, so you can just rail on top of it. And it's nice and tight, but not too tight. It has to be like a perfect measurement. People want to talk about measurement, they're usually around like 8 to 10 feet. It's like good. This one is still gonna get a little smaller just by adding the dense grade. This is it. We shaped it with the machine as much as we could. We tamped it, so that means I just like stumped it with a bucket on the machine, and it's really packed in. It's really good. Now we're gonna go ahead and dump dense grade and start shaping it by hand. I always like running my berms. I'll just go in and just run and see how it feels. You can see how it's like nice and flat. It doesn't have like a gnarly G out. A G out will be like if he has like kind of more like a in the middle where you're turning the most, you're looking out of your corner. It's kind of you're putting a lot of pressure in. So then the tires start kind of creating like a hole, and then it doesn't feel that good, and it makes you lose speed because you like, let's say if you're running a full squish, your suspension is gonna just like compress, and then you lose a lot of speed. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it. I usually just get in and just run around. Feels good, feels nice, tight. I can tell that it's gonna give you a lot of speed when you pump in, so we're gonna go ahead and coat it. I spread my dense grade and everything's so dry that I'm just gonna soak it, let it sit for a few hours, or just come back tomorrow and shape it. And I'll show you guys how I shape it again and just pack it, just show you the whole process. And usually when I start watering, I water little by little so it soaks in really deep and really good, so then you can come back. And because if you put too much water, it would just rot out. It wouldn't soak that much. So now with a little bit of water, it will soak in really good. You gotta water it a lot of passes, and then you get like a really good layer of water. That is really good. Yeah, it's so annoying that this shit just happens. Like, it just gets so dry so fast. Literally, it was like muddy as heck, hard to work a week ago. And now I'm here watering it. It's crazy. Hopefully you can hear me well. I soaked it. I let it sit for a couple hours. Now I'm gonna start shaping it. We're gonna focus on our entrance, our exit, and I always start raking the very top. So I'll just rake the top, make it all smooth wherever I want it, make sure it doesn't have waves. I'll start dragging down. I usually like to rake up. At least I'm gonna start dragging down because I went behind the berm and dumped all my gravel. So we'll start shaping like that. now that we have this somewhat shaped in the top, doesn't have to be crazy good right now, because we're still gonna mess with it a lot. I'm gonna start grabbing some dirt, some gravel from the bottom, and put it in some of my low spots. Like I can see right here, it's a little bit of low spot from the top. So I'll just get some scoops, and I'll scoop it up there. Doing this, make sure you don't get your berm too out of shape. Grab some of the spots you have the most material. Now I'm going to use my shovel. Start carving where I think it is, and it's good to be walking back and forth in our top, keeping back in it at the same time. If you're gonna use a plate compactor, but it's good. I'll give it some damp. Hot. Woo! Ah. What I'm gonna start doing, bringing all this excess gravel that we have here, start bringing it down. We're already what I did, I made my mark where my perfect radius is, where I want it. I compacted the edge, which is the most critical part, and then you start dragging, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. I wish I could just do it with a machine, but it's not as simple doing it in the woods first off, and then having to cap it. So now it's shaped, it's looking nice. We're gonna let it sit overnight, and I'm gonna pack it tomorrow morning with a plate compactor. I like going at the top in the very beginning, just so it gives me a solid base, and then I can go right in the edge and almost round it. And it's super steep, it's hard to go up and round. That's the best thing to do, because you'll have your edge really nice, packed, like really nice, really packed. So yeah, always pack the top and then work your way down. Give yourself a solid base, like a couple passes, so you can stand on your feet and push the plate compactor up and down. Now that I have the top packed and I got a solid base in the bottom, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start going up, and since I don't have anyone to help me at the top, it's easier to do it with two people, and they can grab it and pull it up and help me. But since I'm doing it by myself, you're gonna push. As soon as you get to your top, you put your hand in here and you kind of lift it and pull back and bring it back down, and then start over again. And just keep doing it until you finish the whole berm. And I'll usually do like 2 or 3 passes in the whole berm, and then it's like super good. And then at the very end, for the very top, I just like tamping the edge with a shovel. There's some spots that it's so steep that I just can't reach. And then we're done. That's how you build the berm from start to finish. Always focus on your entrance and exit. Make sure you don't have a G out, and you'll build the best berms.